All right, now let's get into how you actually start making your drawing. So the first thing I'm doing is I've got my background all set up. I decided to include, black and kind of a shades of black within there. So kind of like from a darker black tone into grays. That's what I decided for the background. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in an image of one of my interests. So to do that, I can click up in the layers area here, and I can upload a picture. So I've got pictures on my desktop here. I'm going to start with the camera. So this brings it in as a layer, and I can delete that layer afterwards, after I'm done with doing my outline sketch. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. You can decide how you want your drawing to look. So like where you're going to have things placed, and even if you include all of them within your drawing or not. So I'm going to just kind of have the camera off to the side here, floating off the edge of my sketch. So the next thing I'm going to do is head over to a drawing tool. I'm going to use a pen, and just to make things really stand out against the backdrop, I'm choosing a color that really stands out. So in this case, I'm choosing white, and I'm going to use that to outline the parts of the camera that I want to keep. So I'm just going to start clicking and drawing here. I'm going to go around the lens and kind of work with some of the major lines that I see that I want to include within my sketch. Okay, it's going to be more of a rough sketch rather than like, okay, super detailed and exact lines. But that's just kind of the process of using a computer to draw rather than, having a tablet that we can kind of trace with our fingers. So you'll see it's okay to have it be a little bit rough. You can change your line width as you go if you want to emphasize some parts of your sketch. If you really don't like some of your lines, you can erase them or undo them. I'm just going to keep going around here, tracing in some of the major lines from the camera. Again, I'm doing something that's kind of considered more of a sketchy type look rather than exact defined lines. So I may be going over some areas back and forth too to kind of emphasize some parts. So you keep doing this and go all the way around an object, and I'll fast forward here until I'm to the part where I would move on to the next thing. Alright, so I think I was able to trace out a lot of the lines that I want to keep from the camera. To see what your sketch is looking like, you can click on the Layers palette, go down to wherever you see the clip art symbol, and then when you click on it, you can make it so that it's visible or not visible. So I'm just going to hit that little eyeball, and then I'll get the layers area out of the way here so you can see how things went. So from there, I might choose to just kind of go off the cuff and define things a little bit more the way that I want. Maybe there's some parts that I think should stand out a little bit more, or lines that I forgot. You can certainly turn that clip art spot back on to be able to see your object again. But that is how you kind of go about it. So I've got one little part of my sketch done. Next I'd bring in the next one that I want. So again, click the upload symbol. I'm going to bring in the Sriracha cup, or a Sriracha bottle here first, before I move on to something else. It's already in the select tool, so that allows me to rotate or resize however I want. Now maybe I'm going to have the Sriracha kind of be kind of off to the side here, just like that. Alright, then I do the same process. So I'm going to go to my pen tool. I'm going to stick with white for my drawing here with the lines. Although in this part I do have a little bit lighter value behind. So maybe I will switch it a little bit. I could change the color to be a little bit different if I wanted. So maybe I go for black on this one. Again, I can start tracing the lines and kind of go into as much detail as I'd like on here. Alright, I'll fast forward to being done with this. So this is the progress I've made so far. I did opt to change the color a little bit between what I was drawing. And I've decided to overlap things as well. You can choose to do that or not, that's up to you. I did realize after I've put in kind of two larger things that are with black outlines up here that it looks a little bit unbalanced. So I've opted to add an additional item in down at the bottom here. So I'm going to trace out this coffee cup, which is another favorite of mine food-wise. So I'll get that in here and then we'll wrap it up. So here's what I've decided to do for finishing up. I've got a sriracha bottle, I've got a hero, I've got a camera and the Mandalorian in here, all kind of representing different aspects of interest that I have. Once you're totally done with your project, it's going to be time to save it out. So we can click export on here, and then we're going to download as a JPEG. After that, it'll show up as a in your downloads folder here. So here's my finished version, and that'll be what I can turn in, and I can turn that in on Schoology for this assignment. I hope you enjoyed working through the project here, and I'm looking forward to seeing your artworks to know a little bit more about you.